morning, all of you. So, as you know, in yesterday's class, I have taught you monohybrid cross. I think everybody is remembered. Am I right? So, the concepts, what is remaining is everything is very, very important. I will take it more as simple as possible. So, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So, now if you see that monohybrid cross, so we all knows that first he has been selected a pure breeding tall stem variety plant, and same way a true breeding short stem variety pea plant. That is what we used to call it as a one tall plant, but that is a pure breeding tall stem variety plant. That is only we used to call it as a tall plant. So that is what we used to call it as parents. So if you have taken the parents, it choose a pure. Pure means what, guys? Both are homozygous or heterozygous. All of you? He has chosen what? Homozygous or heterozygous? Homozygous. Understanding? So pure. Parents always pure only. So that is what you have to remember. So that is what we used to call it as a parental generation. So it will form the two gametes. What is the gametes formed by it? All of you, please make it everybody. What is the gametes formed by it? It will form the gametes capital T, small t. Sorry, capital T, capital T. And here also, what is the gametes formed by them? Everybody, small t and small t. Okay, small t and small t. So now, if you have taken here, then they are allowing for self-pollination or cross-pollination in parental generation. Self-pollination or cross-pollination. Everybody? That is very, very important. In parental generation, Mr. Mendel prevented the self-pollination and he allowed for what pollination? Everybody? Cross-pollination. In that also, we all know that he has taken a what? Anther of a dwarf plant. He has been fertilized with a, yes, please. With what? All of you? Pollen grains of a dwarf plant. He has been fertilized with what?
Stigma.
Stigma of a tall plant. So that is what he has been done. So cross-pollination will happen. So if he has been done the cross-pollination, so cross-pollination will undergoes. So next we are going to get the F1 prosody. So F1 prosody, if you have taken, so what is F1 prosody? We'll get it, everybody. Capital T into small t. Capital T into small t. Next again, capital T into small t. And again, next, capital T into small t. And again, next, capital T into small t. This is also many people will make mistake after that. So that is what it will be getting, F1 prosody. So this is the step one. This is monohybrid cross, single character. Don't know Kaushik even what is monohybrid. I asked him, but he not opening his mouth. Monohybrid cross, it is actually step one. So step one, we used to say cross-pollination between pure actually. So pure means it is a what? Parental generation. So cross-pollination between tall and short plant. That is what we used to say parental generation. So he has been observed all capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So that is what is the F1 prosody. So what is the phenotype you are observing here? Genotype. If you notice the F1 prosody, that is what? Genotype. So what is the genotype of F1 prosody, everybody? All of you. Capital T.
Capital T, small t.
All are capital T, small t only. And if you notice it, next, phenotype. What is the phenotype? All of you. Phenotype. Everything. Phenotype is everything. At least one capital T is there. So that it is a appearance. Appearance will come dominant trait or recessive trait. At least one is there. Yes, please. Dominant or recessive? All of you? At least one is there. So it is a dominant only. So tall, 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 and tall. So if you notice it here one character completely disappear. What is the character? Recessive trade. Am I right or wrong? So in F1 generation, one is completely disappear. What is that, guys? Everybody? In F1 generation, what is completely disappear? Recessive gene. Have you observed everybody carefully? Please respond, guys. In F1 generation, recessive gene is completely disappear. Am I right or wrong? Please respond. The character is not at all visible. All the plants are what? Everybody. Tall plant only. Clear? So that is only we used to call law of dominance. We will study. That is only Mendel's first law. That's what it is. Then he allowed the F1 progeny for what pollination? Self-pollination or again cross-pollination? Everybody? F1 progeny. He has chosen two plants of F1 progeny. Any two you can choose. 1, 2 or 1, 3 or 1, 4 or 2, 3 or 2, 4 or 3, 4. Your choice. You can choose any plant. All are same only. So capital T, small t, that is what tall into. Now here he allowed for what? Everybody. Self-pollination. Do you understand all of you? So selfing or self-pollination. Again, he has chosen capital T, small t. So both are here what? They are homozygous or heterozygous? Everybody? Heterozygous. Because only one is there. So capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So it is heterozygous. So again, gametes formation. What is the gametes formation, everybody? Speak loudly. Gametes formation. Capital T into small t. Again, here also gametes formation, capital T into, speak guys, small t. Clear? So now he allowed for what? Everybody. Self-pollination. Am I right or wrong? It is self-pollination. Already we have mentioned it, but again I am mentioning so that he will get the F2 progeny. So F2 progeny, what is the crossing, everybody? Self-pollination. So you'll get capital T into capital T. Next, speak everybody. Capital T into small t. Next, capital T into small t. Always you have to write capital letter first. That is you have to remember. Capital T into small t. Next, last one, small t into small t. So if you open F1 generation, dwarfness is disappear, but F2 generation, dwarfness is reappeared. Am I right or wrong? Please respond. That is only called as law of dominance. So some character is disappear in F1 generation, and the same character is reappearance in what generation? Everybody. Speak loudly. It is in F2 generation. So the recessive gene which is suppressive characteristics, means which is not visible in the F1 generation, that is what we used to call it as basically law of dominance. We are going to study that later, but now you have to make it. So here F2 generation progeny. So F2 generation, what is the phenotype? Everybody check it. F2 ratio. F2 generation ratio. I want phenotype. So phenotype, simply phenotype. So phenotype means what we can say? Tall versus
tall is to short.
Yeah.
Tall.
At least one capital T is there. It is tall. At least one capital tall. At least one capital tall. Here both are small. Both are small. So that it is a what? Everybody? It is the dwarf plant. Dwarf plant also we can call it as a short. So 3 tall plants are there and 1 short plant is there. That is what? F2 generation phenotypic ratio. What is that, everybody? F2 generation phenotypic ratio. Yes, please. Yes, 3:1. So this is the phenotypic monohybrid ratio. Please note it. It is not genotypic. What typic it is? All of you? Phenotypic. Yeah. So phenotypic monohybrid ratio. Monohybrid ratio. So you have to remember it very carefully. Next, If they ask you genotypic ratio, F2 ratio of genotype, what will happen, everybody? Genotype means we have to see what? Please remember, no. Genotypic means you have to see pure. That is what we will notice it. What is that? You have to always remember, everybody, whenever they'll ask you genotype, means you should go with the homozygous and heterozygous. Clear, everyone? So here, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t. This is homozygous and this is what? Everybody? Heterozygous. So capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, and
Small
last
t.
one is small t, small t. Small t, small t is what? Again, pure. So that homozygous or heterozygous? Everybody? Homozygous. So tall plant, capital T, 1. And capital T, small t, 2. And small t is 1. So this is the ratio we used to call it as genotypic monohybrid ratio. So please write it. What is this, everybody? It is only call it as a genotypic monohybrid ratio. That is what you have to remember. Okay. So write. Any doubt you can ask. Are you clear, everybody? Yes, please. Understand? Now here there is another one. If they ask you pure F2 generation, F2 ratio of genotype, then what will happen, guys? Pure means what? Everybody. Pure means what? Homozygous. Understand? So homozygous. So pure means you have to take it as a what? Only capital T into capital T and small t into small t. So what is that capital T, capital T? How many are there?
1:1.
Small t also 1. So by that time, what is the ratio? Everybody. It is, yes, please. 1:2. Please remember that. Clear? They can ask anything. Hurry here. Suppose they'll ask you, pure homozygous of, pure itself is a homozygous. They will ask you maybe, what is the ratio of tall plant, like pure versus homozygous versus heterozygous. By that time, what is the ratio? Only 1:2. Or they will ask you that dominant trait of heterozygous and recessive gene of homozygous. Then what is the ratio? 2:1. Anything they can ask you. So you have to be very careful in question what exactly they are asking. You have to be remember. All of you understand? Everybody? Please respond. Clear? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So remember that. If you remember that only, anything they can ask. That's what you have to make it. So now, this is what about it. Next one is dihybrid cross. Let me finish this. So this is the most important one. So definitely you can see we'll practice minimum 10 to 15 questions I'll teach you. They will ask you different varieties of questions. If you understand this concept, always, once again, I'm repeating, if it is the pure means rendu possibilities erga. Capital T, this is for a dominant one. And another one is what, everybody? Small t. This is for what? All of you? Recessive one. If it is the heterozygous, this is what we used to call it as a homozygous. So for dominant one homozygous genotype, another one is what? One heterozygous homogenotype. What is the heterozygous genotype? Capital T. Everyone. Capital T, small t. So for a dominant one, either capital T or capital T, small t. But recessive one, only one possibility. What is that? Always it is small t only. So no other possibility for recessive gene. That is what you have to remember it. Now, coming to the dihybrid ratio. So write it, everybody. A dihybrid cross, still doubt means I cannot do anything. Mr. Kaushik, still I will ask you anything, you cannot answer. Because you are not listening, simply namesake you are attending. In which two varieties. Now before monohybrid means only one varieties. Now how many varieties everybody? Two varieties of pea plants. So means two contrasting characteristics. That is what you have to remember. Two pea plants having how many contrasting characteristics? Everybody? Yes, please. Two contrasting characteristics. Clear? Characters are crossed to study the inheritance of two pairs of traits simultaneously. Yes. And one more thing I forgot to tell you. So this is also one of the most important one. So if you observe very carefully, Mr. Mendel has been done in F2 generation. All of you see the number of plants he has been got. This is what, where is that? Yeah. This one, 3:1. So in F2 generation, totally he has been taken 1,603 plants, F2 generation plants. Clear everybody? How many total? 1,600 plants, total F2 generation. Please remember, total P plants of F2 generation, how many? Mr. Mendel observed. F2 generation 1,614. So in that, you can notice 787 he has observed approximately tall plant, and 277 he has observed totally what plants? Everybody, please respond. Dwarf plant. Clear, Hari? In that 787, it is not all pure. In pure means how many there? Pure means what is the ratio? Everybody. Only one, and in that, what is that? Heterozygous means 2 and homozygous means again how much? 1. I will teach you that also. So tall and dwarf 787 and 277. So if you approximately divide it with 277, so you will get it here 2.84:1. So it is approximately what? 3. So that is what is the ratio he has been observed? Yes, please, guys. Monohybrid ratio 3:1. Okay. Now, in exam, for example, they will ask you, let it be dominant dihybrid race cross. You keep it like that. So monohybrid cross. Can you tell me what is a monohybrid cross, everyone? Monohybrid cross. I'm not specifying anything. So what is a monohybrid cross? Please respond. Monohybrid cross. How much, guys? 3:1. Clear? Tall versus dwarf. Now, for example, they will ask you, I have given you, let me take now 1,200 plants. How many plants given? Everybody? 1,200 plants is given totally. Then how many tall plants and how many short plants or dwarf plant they'll ask you. By that time, keep in mind how to solve. Mr. Harish, this is a common question. Everybody, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me. This is the most common question which they will ask you in the exam. So what is the total ratio? Can you tell me by this time? What is the total ratio? Everybody. Total ratio, speak loudly. 4. Am I right or wrong? So tall plants, I am not asking specifically homozygous or heterozygous. Clear? Tall versus dwarf. So tall plants is equals to, keep it in mind, total plants into tall plant ratio divided by total ratio. So what is the tall plants? 1,200 into 3 divided by 4. 4 ones are, 4 threes are. So which is equals to 300 into 3, which is equals to how many plants? How many tall plants will come? Speak loudly. 900. If they ask you dwarf, again same thing. 1,200 into, what is the ratio of dwarf plant? Everybody. 1 divided by 4. So how much is remaining? 4 ones are, 4 300s are. So what is the dwarf plant count? Everybody.
300 plants.
300. That is how you have to solve it. I hope you all understand. Anybody doubt, you can ask me. This is what common monohybrid ratio. Do you understand, Mr. Rohit, Pugal, Abhirami? Monohybrid ratio, monohybrid cross, common. If the specifically is mentioned, pure pure tall versus dwarf. Calculate number of pure tall and dwarf. So that by the time you have to take what? Pure means what? Homozygous or heterozygous? Everybody. Yes, please.
Homozygous.
Only homozygous. So by the time, again, let me take example. I'm taking 1,200 plants given. So they're asking pure. So by the time, you have to take the ratio what? Everybody. Ratio what? Capital T is to
1:1.
capital T to small t is to small t is to small. What is the ratio? 1 is to 2 is to 1. Purima? Ellame? That is what. Now, what is the total ratio? Total ratio, tell me how much it is. 1 plus 2 plus 1, which is equals to, speak Ra. Yes, please. 4.
Sir.
Clear? Now, number of pure capital T. How many? What is the pure ratio? Capital T ratio. How much? Capital T ratio, how much, guys? 1. So 1 divided by 4 into total plants. That is what? 400. So which is equals to how many plants? Capital T. How many, guys? Pure 300. If they ask you heterozygous. So heterozygous of capital T, small t, tall only. It is what? 2. So which is equals to 2 by 4 into 1,200. So which is equals to how many plants, guys? Just I'm giving the number. Exam, they will ask you differently. Number of small t, again ratio is 1. So 1 by 4 into what total plants. Clear? So which is equals to how many plants, guys? Yes, please. 300. So the given ratio divided by total ratio into total number of plants. That is the formula for calculating any type of number of plants. Given ratio, no book will teach this, but no question paper without this. Given ratio divided by total ratio into total number of plants. Total plants. Okay, total given number or given plants. So this is the formula for calculating any type of, but exam you have to be very careful. Either they are asking pure or total. Be very careful, because for tall, always whatever it is, a dominant one, it is always two possibilities. What is that? Capital T, small t. So two genotypes will form. So possibilities of two genotype is 2 for dominant one. But recessive one is what? Everybody, only one possibility. What is that? Small t. Clear, Amma? Girls? Hasini? Mitakshri, understand Mitakshri? Anything doubt you can ask. So this ratios calculating number of plants, 100% there will be a question every year. They will ask you. Definitely in 5 mark, 1 mark it will be there. So let us come to the dihybrid cross now. So let us make it. Dihybrid cross means how many characteristics, everybody? How many contrasting characteristics? Dihybrid ratio, everyone? 2 contrasting. Okay, so let us make it now. 2 contrasting characteristics. Mr. Mendel has been selected a pure line. What do you mean by pure line, guys? Pure line. Yes, please. What do you mean by pure line? Omar, you are not sleeping. Respond, Omar. Nimish, answer. What do you mean by pure line? Nimish? Pure line variety of plants means they are what? Parental generation or F1 generation or anything. Everybody? Pure line means they are varieties of peas of parental generation. Varieties of peas which are completely pure line. Pure line means what, guys? Homozygous or heterozygous? Speak loudly. It is homozygous. Okay. So I asked many people, but nobody, very few only saying. So he selected a pure line of variety of pea plants for yellow, keep it in mind, yellow round seeds. Yellow round seeds. So here, what is the two contrasting characteristics which you are noticing? I want to see. Everybody? Johan, Noor, Sanjay, what is the two contrasting characteristics you are seeing? One is what?
Color shape.
Yellow, understanding, and second one is what? Round. So this is both are dominant one. So yellow, what will happen? Dominant, guys. Yellow, what will happen? Yellow, capital Y, round, capital R, capital R. That's all it is. Clear? Everybody? Next, he has chosen second one, a green and wrinkled seeds. Green and wrinkled. Wrinkled means they are not having a particular round shape. Green and wrinkled seeds. So now, yellow, capital Y. So green what? You should not take GG.
Small.
Yeah, small y. And here round, capital R, capital R. Here wrinkled. Wrinkle, what will happen? Everybody.
Small.
Two characteristic. Characteristic one, characteristic two. Characteristic one, characteristic two. So he has taken pure line. Pure line means what? They are, everyone, homozygous plants. So they are what? They are parents. So parental generation it is. So please remember it is the parental generation. So let us make now. So what he has been done, he crossed these plants and observed that all seeds has the features of only one parental type. What is that parental type? We'll observe. So again, same thing now. So what will happen here, you see. So he made again a cross-pollination or self-pollination. You have to tell me. First, parental crossing. Parental crossing always what, guys? Cross-pollination or self-pollination. Speak loudly. It is always cross-pollination. Clear, everybody? So parents. What is the parents, guys? What is the parents? Round yellow seeds. Okay. So yellow round seeds. So yellow round means what is the gametes? Capital Y, capital Y, capital R, capital R. Next one. Green. What is that? Everybody. So we'll get, what is that? Small y, small r. Yes, please. Small r. That is what. Now you can see these are the factors of inheritance. Please note it. Factors of inheritance is capital Y, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r. Now, gametes you have to form it. So how the gametes will form? Be very careful. Capital Y, capital R, one gamete. Next, capital Y, capital R, another gamete. How I am forming? Be very careful. Any doubt you can ask me. So totally how many gametes were formed? Two gametes. Clear? So if you want to write it like this also, you can directly write. So avoid this and all. So directly you write it. Two gametes. Okay. So what is the gametes will form? Capital Y, capital R, capital Y, capital R. Here also gametes, tell me what is the gametes will form? Because two contrasting. Small y, small r, one gamete. Next one is what? Again, small y, small r. Over. Clear, everybody? So that's what you have to remember. Now, it is cross-pollination or self-pollination? Everybody? Yes? Cross-pollination. So what Mendel done? Be very careful. He has done a cross-pollination was made between the flowers of plants raised using a pure line seeds of round shape and yellow color with wrinkled shape and green color. So that is what he crossed the plants of round and yellow seeds with, that is what, flowers of round and yellow seeds with wrinkled and green color. Means he has taken the anthers of a yellow and round seeds and has been fertilized with the wrinkled and green seeds. That is what. So now he crossed these plants. So crossing time. So what will happen? First character. See, before only single character monohybrid. Now here two character. That's all it is. Dihybrid. So what will happen? Capital Y, capital R. Next one. Speak Ra, everybody. Small y, small r. So that is the one gamete. So that's all it is. That is only we can say F1 prosody. What is this, everybody? Who is to call it as F1 prosody. Capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r. Next, capital Y and this one. Right, everybody? Capital Y, capital R, small y, small r. Next, this one. Capital Y, capital R, small y, small r. Next, last one. Again, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r. You just adjust it and write it. Okay, I will adjust it. Capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Because one character you have to write together. That's what you have to remember. Capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. So if you all observe here, everywhere you can see at least one capital letter is there. So it is a dominant or recessive. Everybody, dominant. So
Dominant.
one capital letter is there. So it is a what? Yellow. Yellow. Because prosody over now. Phenotype. Tell me phenotype. So what is a phenotype, everybody? Yellow. And one capital R is there. So it is a what? Yellow. Respond. Round. Here also one capital yellow, one capital R, round. Here also one capital Y, yellow, and one capital R, round. One capital Y, yellow, one capital R, round. So everywhere at least one capital letter is there. So it is what? Entire phenotype is what? All pure plants only. This is only law of dominance. So only single character, he observed that only he noticed that all the seeds what we are getting, he has been only one parental type in the F1 generation, which had, what is that? Yellow colored and round shape. He noticed that entire seeds in F1 generation is yellow and round shape only. So this shows that yellow color is the what? Dominant or recessive? Anybody? Yellow color is the dominant or recessive? Everybody?
Dominant.
So yellow is the dominant one. From that results he has been made. Yellow is the dominant and green is the what? Everybody? Green is the recessive. Same way, round is the dominant one and wrinkled is the what? Everybody? Wrinkled is the, yes please, recessive one.
Recessive.
This is what is F1 generation he has been noticed. Now, if you notice in F1 generation, all are